The Annabelle Candy Company was founded in San Francisco in 1950 by Russian immigrant Sam Altshuler. Its treats are popular along the West Coast, with the most famous being the Rocky Road Bar. But that's not all they make, and today we will dive deeper into their product line to see if the Look Bar can take on two very worthy competitors, including the classic Sugar Babies. Candy Month concludes with an epic showdown right now on You Tried Dat! You Tried Dat! I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
What up?
Hey, Nick Geiger is... I heard that you are a sugar daddy now. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes. I am old. I have collected some money, and I give it to young women to hang out with me.
Wow.
All right.
Anyway, that's the intro topic. Guys, you want to get on to
All
this next? I'm just letting everyone know.
Yeah.
The only thing that's true of that is you are old.
I am old. Yeah, definitely old.
You are a daddy.
Yeah. I eat sugar. Well, yeah, so for randomly last year for Valentine's Day, we went to, as a family, like our babysitting fell through or something, and as a family, we wound up at this place called Rock Bonky near us, which is basically like a Benihana style place, one of those hibachi grills where they do all the cooking in front of you and flip the food at your face and stuff like that.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's great. Kids loved it. It's it's a good kid like dinner too because it's kind of interactive and whatnot, so they're engaged. So we decided to do that every year now, and we went actually last Thursday. Obviously, when this comes out, Valentine's Day would be well in the past, but in real time, it's coming up this weekend, this Monday. But we always go beforehand because going out that night is terrible. Anyway, so we get this guy Kevin. He's clearly been doing this forever. My wife, I love my wife, but she is very clearly like wowed by everything all the time. And so so he's doing the thing and he's, chopping everything and banging the spatula off and catching it and doing all these flippy tricks. And she goes, "How long have you been doing this? Did you just learn?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Yes, ma'am. Got done last week." And I just started cracking up. He was clearly like, "You idiot." He goes, "I graduated cooking school in 1986. She's like, "Oh, Kevin, you're great." She just kept calling him by his name. "Kevin, oh, Kevin, this is great." So he's like, there. It's it's one
Well,
of
you
these.
don't teach you that in cooking school, do they?
Well, they go to a school for this hibachi thing. I think it's got to be because it's a lot of special
Hibachi
stuff.
101 and 102, I think, is where you learn that, right?
Classic French trained chef.
Yeah.
Now take the onions and squirt oil and make a volcano.
Yeah, the final exam is have the biggest volcano. Have it choo-choo around. Ding, 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 ding.
So
What's the best trick those guys do?
Oh,
Probably launching the food, like, into your mouth, right? Like, 'cause that's...
that's not a trick.
when
just
they'll
whipping
take, like,
food at you. It's all the work's on my side.
You got to aim it, right?
Yeah.
Or, also, don't they do something where they'll, like, throw, like, an onion up in the air and then slice it as it's on its way down or something?
Yeah, he did some of
That's
that.
kinda cool.
He did he would just bang the spatula off the table and it would bounce away and he would catch it and he was like making a rhythm out of it. Like it was kind of some tricky
I like the
spatula
old,
skills.
catch the egg in their hat.
Yeah. And then they slap the hat back on their head and watch it drip down their face.
I just remembered I went to... Sorry to interrupt your story.
Yeah,
I remember
it's okay.
I went to Benihana, like, maybe 8 or 10 years ago, something like that, with my wife, and the guy was, like, doing, like, the launching of the food or whatever, and, like, as a joke, he just took, like, one piece, like shrimp or a little piece of pork or something, and just, like, chucked it over his shoulder, and it... it went down the shirt of the woman at like the next table over, like
Whoa.
right down her
Oh.
shirt.
It sounds like a Fairley Brothers movie.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't just learn how to do that last week. He's been doing that for 30 years. Cleavage chicken. He knows what he's doing. In fact, Chad, I think if I recall right, isn't Sukasa was the name of it, right? By Gurney, Gurney, like that. And we went for your birthday one time. And I distinctly recall two things about it. The guy was crazy. He was just squirting the whole thing down with oil. And there's like flames shooting up. And he's just screaming, "Happy birthday to you." It was like, oh my God. And then we did a bunch of sake bombs. I think listener Kurt and I were doing a sake bomb, we both like slammed it back down and broke the table thing that was hanging off the grill.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Anyway, so we're sitting here, and it's like these three women on the other side of the table and us. So he starts talking to the women, and like when it's time to hand out the food, he'll go like, "You ma'am, like regular," and then he comes to us and he turns to my wife and goes, "Here you go, mama. Here's your food, mama." Like it's like he calling her mama, and then my daughter, he kept calling her beautiful, and I was like, "Ease up, dude." All right, she's 8, and then my son was handsome, so he was clearly lying. I'm kidding, Jake. If you're listening,
ease up, pal.
He's handsome. Hey, pal, he's not handsome at all. And then he would go, "And you don't say for that sugar daddy." And I'm like, "What? Like, why am I sugar daddy?" It seemed to imply that my wife is only in it for the money, which she is not. I have none. But he just kept shouting that. And then he would go back to the other people and just call him ma'am, like very professional over. And then he's going, "Mama!" And he's like whipping the food in my wife's face. And she was just enthralled. She kept, "Kevin, this was great." She went up. She did that thing where like you leave the restaurant and the hostess is like, "Oh, thanks for coming." He goes, "Kevin was spectacular." I'm like, "All right, Betsy, like fucking relax." So I don't know. I think she might be into Kevin. I'm a little worried now.
Did he do the trick where he throws up the shrimp and then like takes the 2 cutters and like slings it back and forth real quick, and then 3 pieces of shrimp all go into their taps simultaneously?
Yeah, he did that. It was this weird trick. He flipped up a shrimp. It fell in my wife's tap, and then suddenly Kevin's head came out from beneath her breast and was like, he was eating it. I was like, "Whoa, where did he go?" I was like, "Thank you, sugar daddy." He started calling me cuck after that. I was kind of upset. Like, sugar daddy was weird, but this is I'm a little not necessary, Kevin.
Did he do that trick where he took all the raw beef and just draped it over your face and said, "Now you're half as handsome as your son"? Something like that.
Yeah.
Did he do that one?
It's a really long trick. There wasn't a whole lot of... Betsy's like, "Man, did you go to school for this?" He's just draping beef strips on my face.
So, do you think I have a theory.
Yeah.
Because he could sense that your wife was like into the show, right?
Oh,
Whether she was into him or into the show, whatever, we could have a debate.
No debate. She wants Kevin.
Yeah. So, okay.
She has left me for Kevin, guys.
Yeah. Did he do the trick where he's doing the train and he's banging it like with the knife to make the train sounds, and then all of a sudden his hand stops moving, but it's still making the banging noises, and then you realize it's his boner on the bottom of the
table? Yes, he did that trick.
Okay, great.
He had that great trick where he was erect. And now for my first trick, and he just grows a boner. Man,
you probably can't do this anymore, can you, sugar daddy?
I've been doing this since 1986. He kept flipping shrimp in my mouth with his boner. I was like, Go ahead. Sorry.
So my theory is, he has the volcano, and it's like onion rings all around his boner, and then like instead of steamed. So, anyways, so my theory.
That was worth it. That was a good detour.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a theory?
Yeah, I have this theory where he slid an onion on his dick. Yeah.
And then shot ropes all over the restaurant. That's my theory. So my theory is that he could tell that Betsy was really into it, and so he was like working you for like the tip, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's why, and so like sugar daddy, as in like, you have a lot of money, give me money.
He was working his tip through that onion ring.
He worked his tip for the tip.
Because like that's why he's ignoring the other side.
That could be
they're
it.
Like,
yeah,
they're all on their phones or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, you should bring your kids to that.
It got very sexual fast. Yeah. Then he tried to give me the onion to eat. I'm like, dude, it was just on your dick. I'm not interested.
Your kids are that age where you're supposed to have like the birds and the bees talk, but instead you just take them over to the hibachi place. And, like, this is all you need to know about human sexuality, guys.
Okay, sometime you're going to meet a nice onion and fall in love with it.
8 p.m. is adult show. He just throws raw meat over your kids' faces so they can't see.
And then pulls out his raw meat.
You want a teriyaki? Okay, teriyaki. He just squirts it down, puts it on his face.
All right. I was trying to think of some way to combine the word teriyaki and bukkake, but I couldn't.
I think you just did.
It wasn't working in my brain.
Roses are red, violets are teriyaki. Come to the show and get a bukkake.
I had a theory that those two words combined in a good way. But all right, let's eat some candy. Close out candy month here. We got 3 snacks. We rate them on a 5-point scale. I love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. And let's start with the Look bar, which I talked about in the intro. And this company is from the West Coast. Chad, that Rocky Road one that I said is very popular. Do you see that anywhere out by you? Something called a Rocky Road bar or Annabelle's Candy Company?
Never heard of either one. So Hayward, so this says it's from Hayward, California, which is not that far from me in San Francisco. But I don't know, maybe I've seen Annabelle's stuff and just didn't notice it. But this seems like a bar as I watch you bite into it that is just tailor-made for me to hate. Dark chocolate, looks hard as shit.
You could slide multiple onion rings around this candy bar. This thing is turgid.
I can't even fucking bite into it. This is so annoying already.
Holy cow.
Ah, Jesus.
So is this what? Like a Charleston Chew with peanuts in it, essentially?
Ah!
Where's the peanuts?
It says there's peanuts.
I see a peanut.
Great. It's the candy bar is just an instruction. You're supposed to look for the peanuts.
We've located the peanut.
I also just love that the name is Look with an exclamation mark. Just, look! Like, it has nothing to do with candy.
Look, don't touch. Don't eat.
Is that what the hibachi guy was screaming to you? And you tried to turn away.
He was making out with my wife. Look! For dessert. Handed me the bar.
Man. So, I can't believe you got cucked by the hibachi grill guy.
You can't believe it. Fuck. I was there.
He's like, check out my teriyaki sauce. And then cucked you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. You took the task that I couldn't come up with and did it very unsuccessfully. All right, Geiger.
Yeah.
What do you think of Look?
What do I think of Look? This thing hurt my teeth. Like biting, like my incisors and my big old buck teeth in the front hurt. Like trying to get through this thing.
How are your bicuspids?
They're all right. Yeah,
Molars?
they're fine. My canines hanging in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if this is just stale. Like maybe it's just like it's been around a long time. Like these are old snacks. But this is so hard. I don't understand how... Oh, there's a best here.
Best before March 17th, so...
All right, we're on track.
Yeah.
Well, happy
It's been
St.
around
Patrick's Day.
since '86.
Head off to the dentist. It's just so hard. I don't.
Yeah.
It tastes fine. I agree. I don't see any peanut. I looked. I did not see any peanut. Chocolate's meh. The middle, I guess if you like a Charleston Chew, you'll like this. It's just so hard, like harder than Charleston Chew, and it just makes it hard to bite, hard to chew. Like this is a big bar. Getting through this thing would take an hour and a half. So, for that reason, I'm gonna give it a dislike that. I don't think this is very good, and I also don't like those kind of caramely. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like, but I'm not a big fan of those like Charleston Chewy type of caramel bars anyway.
All right. Dislike to start. Chad?
Do you guys can you see the peanut there? Right.
Oh, yeah.
Holding it up.
Look at this grainy Zapruder film of one peanut and 3 Look bars.
Cross section of the peanut. Yeah. So, this is the Kevin of bars. It is rock hard, and it's
Right.
very
Great at its job?
unpleasant. Yeah, it's boy, it's terrible. It really this is a focus group sat down in a lab and said, let's design a bar that Chad is gonna fucking hate. And this is what they came up with, and they nailed it to a T. The dark chocolate tastes like shit. The inside is horrible. The consistency is a disaster. This thing fails on every level. Easy, easy, easy hate that for me.
Whew. Boy. If you look at my bar, you look closely here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a peanut if you look back and to the left. It's a Kennedy shot in the head joke right there.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And there's a second
Topical.
peanut on the grassy knoll.
I think it's called luck because you go into your dentist, you unfurl your closed fist and show your two missing teeth that have fallen out and say, look. I think the taste isn't that bad because I like Charleston chews. I think they're really good. And so I was actually, once I got it malleable, right, which took like a little while, the flavor was decent. So it's too bad that it's just as hard. And I, like Geiger said, I don't know if it's, just been sitting this way, if it's always this hard or what, but I want to like it, but I can't. So I'm going to give it a low level indifferent.
Wow.
So I still think the flavor's all right. So we got an indifferent, a dislike, and a hate. Likely will not be enough to get it done today.
I hope not.
I really hope not.
So we talked about the sugar daddy. Let's go to the sugar babies. And sugar babies, kind of the famous candy you probably have seen before. Delicious candy-coated milk caramels is the only description on there. And these are like raisin set, or more, probably like a jelly bean. It's like a Jelly Belly sized candy.
Oh yeah, it looks a lot like a Jelly Belly, actually.
I'll say to Chad, I've seen these and heard of these forever, but I don't ever recall eating one. Have you guys had these before?
Yeah.
I have not.
These are also hard.
Novak dejectedly. Yeah.
That was not the consistency I expected from this.
What do you think? It'd be chewier?
Yeah, I thought. Well, so when I saw it, before I even saw it, I thought maybe they'd be like an M&M kind of thing, like almost like a caramel M&M or something. But then when I saw them, I thought they'd have the consistency of a jelly bean, but they are way, way, way harder.
I was expecting more like a milk dud.
Yeah.
These kind of taste like hardened syrup almost.
Oh, man.
There's a reason. Usually a caramel candy on the package will have like a cross section where you see melty caramel coming out. And something like that would be a lot better than this. When you bite it open, it really does look like a jelly bean in the middle, but with caramel instead. Whew. Chad, what do you think?
I really hope this tree is good. This thing's worse than the last one. I mean, I'm not a huge, like, this type of hard caramel. I've said this before on this pod. This type of hard caramel is not really my thing. It gets stuck in your teeth. I find it hard to chew. Especially this kind of like small form factor, right? Like this is the kind of thing that it's like a Reese's Pieces or like a jelly bean or whatever. Like you just want to be able to like take a couple out, mindlessly pop them in. But this is like such fucking work to eat these things. This sucks. Ugh. Hate that.
Whoa. Whoa. That is a spicy one.
They're not hates, but they're really not good. If this was if this was the first caramel treat I'd ever tried, I would never have wanted to eat caramel again because it almost, there's nothing that caramely about it. I think I'm just I'm gonna go with like a real straight dislike that. It's not good. If I was really, really, really hungry and I had nothing else, I could force some of these down, but They're pretty unappealing. Geiger?
Yeah. They're, I don't know. I'm with you. I don't think they're hates. They're kind of too innocuous to hate. They're just kind of, like I said, it's literally all in the name. It just tastes like syrup or like hardened sugar. It's like you took some sugar, caramelized it, turned it into a ball, a raisin-sized ball, stuck it in a bag and sold it. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're terrible. I don't want to eat that many more of them. The aftertaste isn't great. I'll give it a, I'm torn on an indifferent or a dislike. I will go indifferent.
Wow.
They are. They exist.
We're all knotted up. Man, this peanut butter tree is just licking its chops.
Oh, boy.
All right. Segment time. So we're getting out of February, and people who met someone on Valentine's Day, right? They got into a relationship on Valentine's Day a few weeks back, and by now are deciding whether they're going to stick with it or not. So those people who really did fall in love, though, may end up doing some kind of crazy things. So we've had this segment before. It's going to look at what some people have done for love, and you're going to tell me if what they've done is sweet or if what they have done is crazy.
Oh, boy.
So we've got 6 stories, and the first one goes like this. It says, one year, I went to a track meet and saw a girl. She wasn't running and I couldn't find her name, but I went to the trouble of looking her up on the university roster. I'm a professional photographer, so later that year, I set up a photo shoot for the cross-country team, just so I could legitimately meet her. I asked her out after the shoot, going the distance for the distance runner. So we're starting off kind of, nothing too crazy yet, but I don't know. Do you guys think this is sweet? Chad, what do you think of this?
Okay, so I want to say it's a little creepy, but I am a person that took an ice skating class in college just because there was a hot girl also taking that ice skating class who I wanted to try to ask out. So
but that wasn't sweet either.
I don't know. It's kind of borderline, I mean, maybe the photo shoot was like useful for the team in some way, and it's not like he was out there like photographing them like through the trees or whatever, like without their knowledge or whatever. So I'll just in the interest of there being worse things coming, I will edge this one just into the sweet territory.
Okay,
yeah. Look, I mean, it basically sounds like the plot of every romantic comedy ever. Like this is not like an egregious thing. I mean, Kevin has been cooking hibachi since 1986 to hopefully meet up with my wife at some point in the future. So he played the long con. No, look, it's fine. Like Chad said, if it would be weirder if he was doing like uninvited photography of the team and stuff like that. But it sounds on the up and up, and he had no other avenue to ask this girl out in a natural way. So. He was a bit maneuvering, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily gross or anything like that. He's okay.
Yeah, the thing is, like, a Hugh Grant guy does this, right, in the movie, right? And it's very charming and goes well.
Yeah.
But, someone who looks like...
Huge Grant.
huge
Grant.
Some giant fat neck beard. Want to take your picture? Snap it away.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's how a woman interprets it too. Is that if a handsome guy shows up and is like, "I did this just to meet you," they're very taken back. But if Huge Grant shows up to meet them, there's an issue.
Yeah.
All right. The second one. It says, when Rodrigo Gomez broke the news that he was leaving Chile to take a job as a cruise ship waiter in Madrid earlier this year, his lovesick girlfriend, Grace, wasn't having it. Instead of telling him she didn't want him to leave, She waited till her boyfriend was boarding his flight and pulled the kind of last-minute love tactic that you only see in cheesy romantic comedies. She called in a bomb threat mere minutes before takeoff.
Phew.
All of the 312 people aboard were forced to evacuate, and bomb-sniffing dogs led by a horde of police officers were called to the scene. When no bomb was found, the police tracked her down and arrested her. So
Oops.
she didn't want to... didn't think that through. So Geiger,
Yeah.
what do you think? Is this kind of a sweet gesture to kind of get this guy to stay?
No. That's
Come on!
psychotic.
You fucking prude.
Just being led away by the cops. I did it for you. No, look, ultimately it's harmless other than wasting people's time because she didn't actually put a bomb on the plane, which I guess is an escalation up from there.
Mhm.
But no, that's a horrible inconvenience for everyone. It's frightening for everybody. You had to get the poor dogs just want to hang out. They don't have to go sniff around the plane. And this guy has got to be mortified that he ruined 800 people's travel plans or whatever. I don't know how many people actually fit on airplanes. Probably less than 800.
I think 800's right.
Jumbo
800's
jet
right.
taped to another jumbo jet, right? Is that what it was? I would be mortified if I were that guy knowing that she did that, because that's just psycho. Then you're worried, like that's clinger to the max kind of thing. Clinger to the max. It's an extreme amount of cling. And
Clinger to the max, bro.
yeah, it was like fucking 1992. That was not tubular. Yeah, I would say that's decidedly not rad. So I would say that's crazy.
Chad?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if it was an actual bomb, but like not like an explosive bomb, like
It would be better if it was an actual bomb?
yeah, because then she's not a liar.
Not an explosive bomb, or what? A bath bomb?
No, maybe she was just like, word to your moms, I came to drop bombs. Like that's, and then they misinterpreted that. She was doing a love song. No, like they go and find it and it explodes, but it explodes like chocolate goes everywhere and like confetti and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
she called it a
Then-
bomb threat for a confetti-filled bomb. Actually, that would be kind of clever.
Yeah, that could be sweet, right? Like, because that could be like, oh wow, look at what she did for you, and then the cops are like, yeah, go get her number or whatever. But because she's a liar, I think it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. She was given a to the max sentence.
She was sent to the max security prison.
There's
Gnarly,
an update
dude.
for this one. There's an update.
Yeah.
Okay. It says she might face jail time, but she's not worried. She's just happy to have her man back. His take, I can't be angry. I have to support her. What she needs is love, nothing more.
He said at gunpoint. That sounds like an awful lot like a guy who's just worried that the next one's going to be a real bomb.
Is his
Tell
name
my family
Max?
I love them to the max. All right, number 3. When traditional marriage counseling doesn't work, it might just be the work of the devil. That's what Jose Farias and his son Victor Farias must have been thinking when they kidnapped Magda Farias, his ex-wife, from the parking lot of Walmart and performed an exorcism on her in the hopes of saving the marriage. The father-son duo went all out for the exorcism, even picking up 2 priests in the kidnapping car, dousing the victim in sacred oil to purify her. Thankfully, she wasn't harmed, but needless to say, the marriage was not saved. So, Chad, what do you think? This guy, he thinks his wife is possessed, so he kidnaps a couple priests.
Yeah.
Right? He kidnaps the wife, and he's going to force him into exorcism.
Did you say her name was MAGA?
I also thought that, yeah.
It's, what is the name?
In which case, maybe you do need to douse her in oil and then set her on fire.
Magana. I read it too.
Oh, Magana. Okay. All right. I'll allow it. Okay, so but it doesn't say like what denomination these priests are, right? Like maybe they maybe they were like, maybe they had some inappropriate relations with some kids, and so they kind of had it coming. That's possible. Uh, but
It
overall,
does
I would.
say that, yeah. Usually that's
Yeah. It's specified.
There's a little
Because to purify
asterisk.
someone, you need dirty pervert priests to do that. Fucking sex druids to come help you.
Yeah, I. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, but they did. She did the kidnap. He did the kidnapping in the parking lot. That's where it was. So maybe he was saving her from spending too much money at TJ
Yep.
Maxx.
That was it. That was it. You hit it right on the head.
So yeah, pretty crazy.
Geiger?
I think Chad had it maybe kind of was onto something at the end there where maybe she was just spending too much money at TJ Maxx. And so they did a TJ Maxxorcism and doused her with oils and rifled through her pocketbook.
As they're dragging her away, she's like holding on to the doors, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Stop being a clinger to TJ Maxx." That's what he's saying.
She was going too far. She was going TJ to the max, which is finding too much stuff there. I could see, if it was a really religious family, I could see where he was doing it out of love, like he wanted to save her soul, and like if he truly thought she was going to hell, then what lengths wouldn't you? If you knew hell existed and you knew she was heading there for not choosing to stay married to you, what would
If you knew she was going to hell,
yeah. Well, why else would you exercise her? You know the devil's in there. If you knew the devil's in there, get him out, right? And would do any lengths to save her from
You gotta get
Satan.
him out. Yeah.
You gotta get Satan out. Like,
you got me there. Yeah.
Yeah.
If the devil's there, you gotta get him out.
now, I would argue if you were truly like you could prove the devil's in there, these priests would probably go along with it. They're not going to you don't have to kidnap them. What kind of priest wouldn't want to help perform an exorcism in a TJ Maxx parking lot? I kind of blame them for being forced to be kidnapped. So I think
Picturing these priests just being fucking held at gunpoint. Oh yeah, devil, go away. Yeah.
just sprinkling oil. Compel thee, I guess.
While we're here, that looks like a sweet deal on pants. Do you mind if I run in real quick?
I just shit mine, so I'm gonna need a new pair.
Yeah, it's sweet. I think it's kind of sweet.
All right. All right. Next is a guy named Carlo Coretti. Apparently, Coretti's wife Joyce got in a fight with the neighbor after he put trash in her trash can. After she told him to stop, Joyce claimed, "I turned around and he chucked a bag at me and hit me in the back and started throwing garbage all over my yard." So what's a husband to do when his wife is being pelted with yogurt containers and banana peels? Break out his Klingon sword.
Yep.
And then in parentheses it says a batleth for the nerds out there. I don't know. I've never heard that if I'm saying it right or not.
I'm Googling that right now. Botleth. It's got an apostrophe in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know exactly. I've seen this.
The neighbor was able to fight off the alien attack without injury, and Coretti was charged with assault. So now this guy, you're going to go first here, is defending his wife, right? So what do you think?
So this is a real sword? This isn't like a toy from like some Star Wars convention or Star Trek? Fuck. Yeah, Star Trek.
Oh, you are so canceled now, Geiger.
Yeah. Droves and hordes of nerds.
We had someone before who was clinging on. Now we have a real Klingon.
Yeah. You get Star Wars and Star Trek mixed up, you're going to have a lot of huge grants after you. I'm going
to look up the batleth.
Yeah, you're going to have batleths knocking down your door. You're going to be like having to...
All right, do I need to look this up too now?
Yeah, you should.
Man.
It's intense.
So this is like a thing that you would hold two hands. It's basically like a big U shape.
Whoa.
You would hold it two-handed, and it almost looks like a couple of giant deer horns or something like that.
Where are you supposed to hold it that doesn't have a blade on it? It looks like it sliced your hands up.
There's like handles in the middle there.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Look, everyone. It's just like the Klingon equivalent of Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber, all right? That's all you need to know, and you can picture it immediately.
If some dude came running at me with that thing, I'd
get out of the way. I would stop pelting his wife with garbage.
Yeah.
I think that's where it falls for me. Look, if someone started throwing trash at my wife, I would defend her. Now, would I go get a sword and try to decapitate somebody? No. But I would be like, what the fuck? And I'd probably like run and push him or something. I would get in his face, right? Because there could be like glass in the garbage. There could be like something like harmful to her if he's not recycling properly. Right. And really hurt her. So I would defend. I don't think it's a bad thing that because I'm guessing he didn't try to like jam this bath through the guy's ribs or something. He probably just swung it at him and threatened him with it. He wasn't like trying to like stab him in the throat. So like he got to, anytime you swing a sword at somebody, you're going to get charged with assault. Everyone knows that, right? But yeah. I think he was sticking up for his wife's honor with the weapon of honor of the Klingon. And so I'm fine with that.
You agree, Chad?
This guy sounds like a fucking badass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He comes running out with his like, what's that sword what's that airplane catalog that he got that sword off that
Skymart?
Sky Mall.
Yeah,
he comes running out the door with his Sky Mall sword. Probably got a Harry Potter wand in his back pocket. Like that's pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. And at the very least,
do we know?
Yes,
because he might have just been what he's used to.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
At the very least, like, you could use it as like a bat. Like the garbage comes flying and you swing it back like at the guy, right? Like return some fire. This is pretty cool. It actually reminds me of there was like a couple years ago in my neighborhood there was like a guy going around like stealing packages off of everybody's doorsteps and stuff. And one time somebody posted a video on Nextdoor where they had a package delivered outside their house and they had video footage, from like their security cam or whatever. And they were just sitting there waiting because they knew the package thief was going to come. When the package thief came, they like grabbed what they had, which was like some replica bow staff, like a big long staff from some like movie, martial arts movie or something. And they went running and like chasing the guy down the street with it and like caught him and like whacked him. You can see it in the footage, and he like knocked the guy over and then held him down with it until the police came. And that was pretty badass. And this is basically like the even nerdier equivalent of that. So it's pretty sweet.
I think I might have told the story in the podcast, but there was some guy I used to work with that was like in the news because same deal. Like he and some buddies
I remember that.
Like went out and like he woke up in his apartment. Somebody was in the apartment assaulting somebody. So he had this like medieval time sword, like one of those swords you get at like the Ren Fair. And he started swinging it at the guy and chased him out into the street. And the guy dropped his wallet and they were able to arrest him. So the cops were all calling him like Lord of the Rings or something like that, like to honor him or whatever. Or just not honor him. I don't know why. In honor.
Hey, Lord of the Rings, come here.
I now bestow you the nickname Lord of the Ring.
You bow before no man.
Yeah. I think from that point on, he was the leader of the 9 realms. I could be wrong.
It's like the police, like, presentation to the community. They're handing out a medal to him. Okay, next, this guy saved someone. I don't know. Get up here, Lord of the Rings. Let's go. Here's your fucking medal.
Introducing our new police chief, Lord of the Rings.
Frodo, get up here.
I did actually see a house cam thing where someone was coming to take a package, and the person saw that they were stealing the package, and they ran after them, pushed him down and slit open their entire abdomen with a batleth.
Yeah. You remember seeing that?
And then dumped an empty yogurt container in their intestines.
Well, I know Illinois is a stand your ground state, so if someone invades your property, you're allowed to use your batleth to kill them. If you have phasers, you have to set them to stun only, but you can use your batleth to decapitate any other enemies.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Klingon planet? Is it called just? Is it Klingon? Is that the name of the
That would
planet?
be terrible if it was. But
Klingon homeworld is now getting
boy.
Googled.
We're
It's
really
called
getting into it.
Conus. QO''NOS.
Okay. Well, the
Great.
the reason I wanted to know it on the spot was to say that Conus is a stand your ground planet.
Worth it.
All right. Two more quick ones here. Helen Staudinger, a 92-year-old woman, developed a crush on her 53-year-old neighbor Dwight.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah, Dwight.
Hell yeah.
Go get it, Dwight, my boy.
She did what we'd expect any well-meaning grandmother to do. She cooked for him. In return for her cooking, she was given a peck on the lips. But when Staudinger found out that Benninger had a girlfriend, she went to the house to confront him and refused to leave until he kissed her. When he shot her down, though, she went back to her house and did what any other grandmother would do. She grabbed her .350 semi-automatic pistol and started firing at his house.
Uh-huh.
All right,
I thought you were
Chad,
going to say she went back and did what any grandma would do, grabbed her .350 semi-automatic dildo and fucked herself sideways.
She grabbed her batleth. This is another batleth story.
This was on the Klingon homeworld, right?
She sliced open his intestines and then teabagged him.
I don't think you know what teabagging is if you think she was teabagging him, but okay. Maybe in Klingon they all have testicles, I don't know.
It's some really dried up leaves.
With her saggy 92-year-old breasts. It was
she tit bagged him. Oh boy. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for that.
Yeah.
All right, Chad, what do you think of this?
Okay, so
How fucking sweet is this?
Did he live? Like, did she kill him?
She just said fired at the house. She just firing bullets into the side of the house,
Okay.
I guess.
and was it like in a shape like she wrote out "I love you" with the bullet holes or something like that? Because that could be pretty
Yes.
sweet.
Uh-huh.
Look, props to her for being a cougar. I'm not gonna hate on that. You know, you love who you love. Love is love. Tit bagging is tit bagging, as they say. You know how they say that.
Yep, heard that before.
In this house, we believe love is love. Tit bagging is tit bagging.
Live, laugh, tit bag. I think that's.
But yeah, the problem with this story is that the weapon that she chose is not approved for use on Konos. So crazy.
Geiger?
When there was two sets of footprints, I was walking beside you. There was only one set of footprints and one set of tit prints. That's when I was tit bagging you. That doesn't even make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Dropping her tits in the sand. Look, guys, I'm not sure this is all that sweet.
Come on.
Well, look, I just let's reverse the situation.
You don't have a romantic bone in your body.
Let's reverse this situation And it was a man demanding a kiss from a female, not getting it, and shooting her house up over it. We wouldn't be cackling about tit bagging.
No, we'd be cackling
we
about
probably shouldn't
regular
anyway.
teabagging. Regular teabagging.
Yeah, that's
We'd be laughing about.
It's a little disturbing. I'm impressed that she can use such a powerful gun at her age. That it didn't just like shatter her forearms. I guess I don't know anything about the gun. Maybe
The
it's not
gun's
even that
built
powerful.
into her walker.
He's like TI 92 grandma.
It
Yeah,
did
no.
shatter her forearms. That's it in
Okay,
the
so
story.
she had no forearms left.
No.
She just had to
Nope.
crawl forward on her tits, just writhe around on the ground.
Oh, that's why there was tit prints, because she shattered all of her legs and everything.
It's like a caterpillar. I'll say crazy. I think that's a bit disturbing. If I was sitting peacefully at home and suddenly bullets were flying into my house because I refused to kiss my old neighbor. I mean,
We've all been there. Come on.
so this where the old bitch sleep.
All right, last one. Rasheen Harrison's girlfriend broke up with him, so he decided to take the road less traveled to winning her back. His move to get her back was smearing his own excrement on the door of her Staten Island apartment, then setting himself on fire and screaming, "I'm the devil."
Did it work?
I feel like between this one and like the kidnapping one earlier, we could maybe do a little matchmaking here. It seems like
Yeah.
it could be.
So before I tell you how this ended,
Pretty sure I know. And they live happily ever after.
no spoilers.
And he shattered his forearms.
Gaggy, what do you think?
He smeared his shit on her apartment while lit it on fire and screamed, "I'm the devil."
Yeah.
To go on a date with her? I'm confused.
Win her back. She broke
win
up
her-
with him.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, now I get it.
Well, look. Let's put it this way. Now, it might not be the best way to get someone back. In fact,
Right.
pretty sure it's not. However,
It is a way.
it's certainly a way, and it's creative, and like
It's great.
if you knew he was the devil, would you really want to piss him off? I mean,
That's true.
maybe you date him just out of sheer self-preservation. Having said that,
Having said that,
having considered that well thought out counterpoint, I am gonna say it is slightly crazy. There's a lot of deeply disturbed people out there apparently in these stories. I think that one is he's a bit crazy because I doubt he's the devil. I think the devil would probably have some more impressive powers than.
what if he knows he's the devil?
What if he knows he's the devil?
He's just really certain.
So the devil, we've imbued the devil over the years with all these mystical powers, and all he can do to rattle her cage is to like shit on a wall and light it on fire. That's not. That seems like it's underplaying. Maybe he's just starting off slow, and then he'll like raise an undead army or something right after that. But
Chad, what do you think of this guy?
Geiger, I think you need to like be careful because the next time you go to that hibachi restaurant, I have a feeling Kevin's going to be smearing shit all over the grill, lighting it on fire. I am the devil! Trying to win your wife over. Well, to me, the problem is actually not the devil part. Like,
no,
lots
that's
of
not your
people,
problem.
no. Lots of people think they're the devil or are the devil. There's probably a lot of devils out there.
Lots of people are the devil. I don't think that's accurate. I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of people who are New Jersey devils, maybe, but
yeah, maybe he thinks he's a Tasmanian devil.
Lots of people out there. They're Satan.
But anytime you get into the realm of smearing shit, that's kind of where I draw the line. So I'm gonna go crazy for this guy.
All right, so the way it ends, it says, predictably, this move did not land him the girl, but it did land him in court. Harrison offered some final words to reporters as he was escorted out of court. Quotes, "Yo, tell him I poo." That was his...
Tell them I poo?
Well, now we know.
I'll say.
Tell them my story.
Honor me.
If there was any doubt that shit I smeared was someone else's, let me clear that up. I poo.
I think over the years, like media has always been depicted the devil as a real like suave, eloquent, articulate person. And you got the devil going,
Yep.
"Tell him I poo, baby." Big poo.
All right, let's eat the peanut butter tree. Closest thing out. This is the Lake Champlain chocolates. It's peanut butter tree, milk chocolate, peanut butter, salted peanuts, and crisp rice. So it's not just like a Reese's tree. Some other stuff in there. Why are we eating a Christmas tree in months after Christmas? Where does this come from?
They had them at like one of my local grocery stores over Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say I haven't had these trees specifically, but I do have an affinity towards Lake Champlain chocolate products, in that it's something that like my wife has ordered for me for the last couple Christmases. She's ordered stuff from them. We actually tried a Lake Champlain thing a while back, which was the peanut 5-star bar. If you guys remember.
Okay.
And this is kind of sort of like that, but it's not nearly as thick. That one was like a really thick bar.
I was trying to remember what this reminded me of, because we've eaten something almost exactly like this, right?
It might be the peanut butter bar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
It had
5-star
more
bar.
crisp
Now,
in it, I think.
it is the same size as pretty much a Reese's peanut butter tree. You'd get it at least close. But the peanut butter inside is a little less creamy, I would say. And there are large, pretty much whole peanuts mixed in there too. I don't notice the rice. You guys noticing the crisp rice?
There's a little crunch.
There's a little bit there with texture, but not much.
Yeah.
All right. I'm first. This is... If this were next to the Reese's tree on the shelves, I would get the Reese's tree.
Right.
Right.
I do like the idea of whole peanuts in there. I think that's kind of a nice addition. But I don't like this particular peanut butter as much as some of these other, as a creamier peanut butter that I think would work better in this form. But it's still pretty decent. I think it does a pretty good job. I could munch on these and enjoy them. I'm going to give it just a very middle of the road like that for this. Geiger, what do you think?
So I think it's already secured the victory.
Getting a lukewarm shrug of yeah, that's fine. And suddenly it's being honored. I agree with a lot of what you said. I don't even care about this crisp, right? Like if it's again, I've said it before, if it's just a texture thing, it's once in a while okay, but I don't think there wasn't that much in there to really it seems kind of pointless why they did it. The chocolate's good. I think the peanut butter, like you said, I prefer the creamier version. I prefer a saltier peanut butter. I think that's the key to me with Reese's peanut butter cups is the peanut butter is kind of saltier. And some of the other peanut chocolate things we've had, that peanut butter being kind of really I miss the salt of the peanut butter. That's what makes it taste good to me. So, having said all that, this is good. I would eat another one. These are fine. I would not be upset if anyone handed me this at a party. So I would, maybe I'd be upset if I got handed a Christmas tree at a party in March or something like that. But, I just think they're foisting their leftover candy, but I'll give this a solid like that. I think it's good.
Chad, do we have a welcome visitor?
No. So let me say this. I will say I do not prefer this over the Reese's tree specifically. And for anybody who sat through that super boring ass Reese's ranking a couple weeks ago, knows that I rank the Reese's tree very, very highly. I think it's delicious. What I like about this is it's a lot of times when we try these peanut butter cup imitations or whatever, we inevitably do compare them to the Reese's products because they're trying to be Reese's, right? You get a Justin's peanut butter cup or something, it's trying to be like Reese's, and it's not it can't be. I feel like this is not trying to be a Reese's peanut butter tree. It's trying to do something different with a different type of peanut butter and a different, like adding in the peanuts and adding in the crisp rice, which does add, I think, a nice texture when you take like really big bites of it, like I did. You get that texture as you're chewing it in your mouth. And so to me, the fact that it is different enough from the Reese's tree that I think it can coexist alongside it. And there would be certain times where I would be in the mood for a Reese's tree and certain times where I would be in the mood for this. I think this is really, really good. I think it's delicious. For me, this is a love dat.
Wow. So would you rank this over several other of the Reese's product then? Like, would it be, if you were putting this in your top 10 Reese's, would it land somewhere?
I don't know if I'd put it in the top 10. That is hard because to me, I think they're sort of like different animals, right? Like I would be in the mood for different things, but like maybe right around number 10. Like I'd probably put this over like a Nutrageous or something like that. But
okay, fair.
Yeah.
But a love and 2 likes, very high score and a very easy win for the peanut butter tree. So, Geiger, where can listeners contact us?
If you have acted both sweet and crazy at times, if you are one of the several Satans walking among us, if you've ever lit your shit on fire, if you've ever, had a bad day and just abducted a few priests and performed a satanic exorcism in a TJ Maxx parking lot, please get a hold of us at, actually don't, but if you're someone else that hasn't done all those things, please do not contact us at all. Seek help. But if you want to talk to us about the podcast, you can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We would love for you to send us questions that we could ask in a mailbag segment for you to tell us what you think of the snacks, think of our ratings, suggest snacks, and just, overall just engage. We're also on Twitter, hashtag You Tried Dat. We're on Facebook with a You Tried Dat group. We're on YouTube and Instagram. You can find us anywhere you can get podcasts. And tell a friend, tell some family, give us a rating or a like. And as always, thanks a ton for listening.
I like to call, whenever I meet a devil, one of people's devil,
a handsome devil like Kevin.
I like to honor them by calling them Lord of the Underworld.
Lord of Darkness. Yeah. Nice of that.
That Klingon weapon does look like something the devil might use, to like
for sure
fuck with people in hell or whatever. That's what he does, right? Fucks with people.
Yeah.
He just flicks
just
them on the cheek a bunch of times.
He just signs them up for magazine subscriptions they didn't want.
It's just nonstop tit bags from the devil while you're down there.
Talking to someone in hell. That one guy keeps fucking with me. Yeah, that's the devil, man.
That one guy. Yeah, that huge horned beast just won't stop ribbing me, man.
You know what really chaps my ass? The devil. That's what chaps my ass.
Literally, he skins the skin off my ass with a batlet. This is the devil's batlet. He has another.
It's a fucking joke that literally no one but me and you get.
Yeah, so...
well, if you get,
so explain it to me.
It was something said by is it worth your Wii points guy?
Great. I'm on board.
What do you guys have to protect your home? Like, I assume not batleth, right? And I know
none of us are batleth.
None of us are gun owners.
No.
Right. So like personally, I literally do just have a aluminum bat under my bed. I don't know what just take a swing at someone just to have some kind of weapon. Do you guys have something nearby that you would presumably use?
My daughter just got for her 3rd birthday one of those things where you put like a Nerf rocket on it, you step on the pad and it flies. Yeah. And I'm getting pretty good with the aim on that, so I might be able to take out somebody's eye with that. But yeah, we also have like a baseball bat handy. Yeah.
I have a softball bat in my car, so I do need to put one under.
That's not going to help you in the middle
it's not really going to help me. It's like crawling out on the roof. Also, if you've seen me play softball, I probably won't connect with him anyway. You can't really draw a walk when you're trying to fight a guy. But yeah, I don't have any guns except these couple of guns I have hidden up my sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just down to my fists, and my multiple batlets that hang up on my wall in my bedroom.
I've got a senior dog that loves all strangers. So that should be
yeah. My dog will lick everyone to death. Right.
All right. We'll call it there, but we'll be back next time. We'll be trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.
You can be picky if you want, and there's a lot to be picky about. But in this video, I'm going to be picky about one thing in particular, and that is the Klingon Bat'leth. I was going to say what they called it in Star Trek, but I stopped myself because I think that's sacrilege. If you want to say something as sacrilege or blasphemy, calling this piece of crap a sword, that is sacrilege because it is not a sword, okay? It is a sharpened metal piece of modern art, which is about the same thing as saying it's a sharpened piece of solidified vomit.